afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Planning Commission for October. If you would, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. Thank you for this beautiful day. And we just ask you that you bless this place and bless this great city of Springdale. We pray protection over this great city of Springdale, not only the city, but this great nation as well. We ask that you give us wisdom and lead us to make the best decisions for our city, for well-being of our residents and citizens here. And we also pray protection over everybody and every family here congregated here today. In your great name we pray, amen.
Thank you for that. Call tonight's meeting to order. We'll begin with a roll call.
Couch.
Here.
Hussein. Here. Ogunyemi.
Here.
Harlan.
Here.
Austin.
Here.
Keith.
Here.
Cloud.
Here.
Cardiel. Reynolds.
Here.
Thank you. Can we get approval of minutes from September 2nd, 2025?
Motion to approve the minutes from September 2nd, 2025.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. That is approved 9-0. We have a few tabled items tonight. I'm going to go through those real quick. L25-27 has been tabled. L25-31 has been tabled. From the Form-Based Code Public Hearing, FB 25-10. From Board of Adjustments, B 25-77. B 25-81. B 25-82. And B 25-85. Also B 25-89 and B 25-90. I believe that is all the table items for tonight. It is. So we'll begin tonight's meeting with items that were tabled last month. First item up for consideration is R25-54, Maha Investments LLC. The request is rezone from A1 to C2. Or maybe not. Is anyone here on behalf of this project, rezone request? Now, I guess we'll move this to the end of the agenda. If these people show up, please let us know. Next up is R25-55. This is Arkansas Federal Credit Union. Request is to rezone from C2 to C5. In addition, we have a few variance requests. B25-79, a variance for a reduction of minimum distance between driveways on adjoining properties. Variance for reduction of minimum distance between a curb line to an arterial intersection. Then B25-80, variance for commercial design standards to do with outdoor storage, trash collection, and loading areas. This is presented by Rickett Morgan County Engineering. Hello.
Hello, my name is Mark Rickett with Rickett Morcone Engineering. We're representing Arkansas Federal Credit Union in this application. Essentially, it's what we're needing to rezone from C2 to C5 to accommodate a drive-through for the credit union branch. And then the two variance requests are basically site issues that make it sort of impossible to meet the code requirements, particularly on the driveway spacing. Here to answer questions. I don't know what else you guys need to know.
Sure. Thank you for that.
Going forward.
Any staff comments?
So a development plan in non-large scale is currently under review for this Arkansas Federal Credit Union internally. And while the scope doesn't require full site conformity, I think these modifications are a positive. This rezoning request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. promote the viability of older commercial properties as well as new commercial development, and encourage the development of regional commercial areas that accommodate a variety of wholesale, retail, service, and office uses where the highest traffic volumes and greatest utility demands can be served, and more extensive outdoor display of materials will be expected and permitted and/or have frontage access to highway.
Thank you for that. Any more comments? Commissioners? Any public comment regarding this rezone request or variances? So I guess we'll take the rezone first and then the variances, or is it the other way around? So the rezone request from C2 to C5, this will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. Do we want to take these two variance requests together, Commission?
Yes.
Yes? That'll be a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0 as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So the variances are approved, so your development plan can move forward. And for the rezoning, staff is going to prepare an ordinance that goes to city council on October 28th. Not required to attend, but you're highly encouraged.
Highly encouraged, not required. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Next up is B25-67 Twin Mountain LLC. This is a variance for reduction of front setback on American Street from 50 foot to 21 foot 6 inches. Also a variance of reduction of front setback on Dividend Drive from 50 foot to 49.5, presented by Ben Salmonson. Is Ben here? Guess we'll move this back to on the agenda as well. You'll let us know if this person shows up. Moving forward, B25-74, Anita Osborne. The request is for variance of reduction of rear setback from 20 foot to 15, presented by Brian Claypool. It's like Brian is here.
Good evening. I'm just here on behalf of NEDA to request that rear setback from 20 to 15 feet in order to build a swimming pool.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, staff? Any public comment about this request? Commissioners? If not, this will be a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Moving forward to public hearing rezoning. First up is R25-56, Henry Nugent and Nina Vo. Request is to rezone from A1 and O1 to C2. Hello.
Yeah, I would like to rezoning the property right there surrounding by commercial, so I would love to change it to C2, so if I can do it.
Thank you. Any staff comments?
This rezoning request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Improve the city's economic base and tax structure through the promotion of healthy, stable commercial concentrations, and encourage the development of a wide range of commercial development for the residents and tourists to include neighborhood, community, and regional centers.
Thank you for that. Any public comment regarding this rezone request? Commissioners, any comments from you? If none, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. Thank you.
Staff is going to prepare an ordinance that's going to go to city council for this rezoning on October 28th, okay?
Next up is R25-57 Teamwork Solutions Group LLC. Request is to rezone from SF2 to MF4, presented by Allen Reed and Associates.
Good evening. My name is Alan Reed. I'm here representing Teamwork. And we've got a tract of land on the corner of Christian and West End and that we're in the process of dividing. But right now, we'd like to rezone a portion of that property, the north 0.52 acres. And I believe my client has met with the staff and pretty much followed their guidelines. They've been pretty helpful. And so we'd ask that we could get a portion of the land rezoned into more of a multi-family use.
Thank you for that. Staff comments?
So infill development, it makes better use of the existing land and infrastructure and adding housing choices without pushing further growth outward. So this rezoning request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Appropriate locations for single-family and multifamily residential development should be provided based on accessibility, site suitability, utility availability, neighborhood compatibility, environmental factors, and encourage the development of a variety of housing types appropriate to the size and income of all households living and working in Springdale.
Is there any public comments regarding this rezone request? If there are, please come to the podium, state your name and address. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Olivia King. I live
Hello.
at 502 Northwest End Street, so we're just right next to this property. We are in support of this rezoning. We recognize that Springdale needs more housing, so we are into it.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Commissioners, any comment? If none, this will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
That passes 9-0.
Staff will prepare an ordinance that goes to council on the 28th.
Next up is R25-58, Willshade Investments LTD. Request is a rezone from C6 to C5, presented by Nicholas Liu.
Hello, good evening. My name is Nicholas Liu. I'm representing Willshade Investments. The request for rezoning to C6 to C5 is to allow for an opening of the Dots Rentals and Sales family-owned and operated rental company to go on the corner of Thompson and Rupel. And yes, so thank you.
Any staff comments?
Randall Wabi in 71. I know, it's great. Typical uses in the C5 are not generally compatible with pedestrian-oriented commercial districts, and appropriate locations for this district are along heavily traveled streets. So this rezoning request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Improve the city's economic base and tax structure through the promotion of healthy, stable commercial concentrations and encourage the development of regional commercial areas that accommodate a variety of wholesale, retail, service, and office uses where the highest traffic volumes and greatest utility demands can be served, and more extensive outdoor display of materials will be expected and permitted that has frontage and/or access to state highways or I-49.
Thank you. Any public comment regarding this rezone request? Commissioners? If none, this is called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
That passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Staff will prepare an ordinance that goes to city council on Tuesday, October 28th.
Okay, thank you.
Next up is R25-60, Donald and Stephen Doyle. The request is from A1 to C2 and MF16, presented by Engineering Services, Inc.
Thank you, Brandon Rush with ESI. So our original request was to rezone part of this with a split zoning, the existing house lot essentially being C2 and the remainder being MF16. We met with the staff and discussed this and would like to downgrade our request from C2 to O1. Just thinking that that would work for what we're planning to do there better. So happy to answer any other questions.
Staff comments?
That was exactly going to be the staff comment, is that we didn't support a C2 in that area right now. We don't want to disrupt the balance of that neighborhood fabric, but a O1 would be appropriate. And for the residential piece, The residential request for the MF16 is in keeping with the goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Appropriate locations for single-family and multifamily residential development should be provided based on accessibility, site suitability, utility availability, neighborhood compatibility, and environmental factors, and encourage the development of a variety of housing types appropriate to the size and income of all households living and working in Springdale.
Thank you. Any public comment regarding this rezone request? Commissioners, any comments from you regarding this? I have one question. Why MF16 when the rest of the tract just got rezoned to MF12? Why not MF12 there?
We just think this is the highest and best use. Would have loved to have MF16 on the rest of it, but that didn't happen. So
Nope. Could we take this separately, or will they be together? Could it be, could we vote for 01 and not for, let's separate? So this will be called for the vote, A1 to, the C2 is now at 01, correct? I just messed up our voting.
I'd like to clarify, you're wanting to move it to what again? No one?
the C2, we want to downgrade to an O1.
So it's currently A1, so they want to rezone it O1 and MF16. We just rezoned this property from A1 to MF12 with a MF4 buffer. They want to take the square and make it MF16.
Is this the same property or an adjacent property?
Same. I mean, go back to the map, please.
There's a lot split currently under review.
Yeah, this is a separate property from what was rezoned last go-around. This is a different owner to the west of the MF12 Levine project. Yeah, you
So
can see-
it's adjacent to, there's nothing separating it. So it could easily be a road that connects to the, anyway, who knows? I think we're ready for the vote. I need a call for the vote. Thank you. So this first one is to rezone A1 to O1 for the top parcel on that description. That passes 9-0. The next vote will be to rezone from A1 to MF16.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That fails 5-4.
So for the first one from A1 to O1, staff will prepare an ordinance that goes to council on October 28th. And for the second vote, since it failed, you have the right to appeal the planning commission's decision to city council. You have to file your appeal in writing to the city clerk's office within 15 days of the planning commission meeting. You have to identify what you think the error of the planning commission's decision was, and you have to re-notify adjacent property owners. When you file the appeal with the city clerk, we will coordinate with you on which city council meeting you'll be eligible to go to.
Okay.
Thank you. Next up is Fireworks Leasing LLC. The request is a rezone from C2 to C5, presented by Mark Frame.
Going to C5 will allow us to use the building for the other 8 months, not during the fireworks season. And basically, we're putting in an inflatable park, jump house where kids and parents can come during the winter or summer school breaks and have birthday parties and use that property and generate some type of income for both the city and ourselves as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
So is that building completely empty outside the fireworks season, and then you fill it up and then it's empty
So
again? Is that how it
the
works?
building is completely empty now. No fixtures, no fireworks, no anything. And that's how this process will
Sure.
work in the future. So when fireworks season comes, then we'll put all the fireworks back in. And then when fireworks season is over, we'll take all the fireworks and all the fixtures out.
Sure. Okay.
So-
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
You betcha.
Any questions from staff or staff comments?
I will say that this business is illegal. It's an existing nonconformity. So it was, this was annexed whenever we annexed Bethel Heights.
Right.
So Springdale does not allow fireworks to be stored in this building. So this is the one lucky location as a legal nonconformity that gets to. And so we have tried to work, staff, the city has tried to work with Jake's Fireworks because we don't want a business. We want you to be able to utilize it all year round to the best of its use. So for this rezoning, the request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Improve the city's economic base and tax structure through the promotion of healthy, stable commercial concentrations and promote the viability of older commercial properties as well as new commercial development.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding this rezone request? Commissioners, any comments, questions? If none, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Staff will prepare an ordinance that goes to City Council on Tuesday, October 28th. You're not required to attend, but highly encouraged.
Next up is R25-62, Hauser Family Revocable Living Trust. The request is to rezone from SF2 to MF24, presented by Jake Chavis.
Good evening. My name is Jake Chavis with Odyssey Engineering. We realized that this is a kind of a large request, MF24. And frankly, when we were working with architects, figuring out what we could actually do on the site, we don't need RMF24. We would like to downgrade our rezoning request to MF16 instead, which is a medium density residential use and compatible with your comprehensive land use plan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sharon, but it is medium. Okay. Typically, MF16 is seen along arterial and collector roads. Fortunately for this property, there is a small section that is owned by the city of Springdale, but it believes it is more or less adjacent to Huntsville there. I'd like to briefly discuss the character of the neighborhood and just kind of point out that this is not only single-family homes here. There's a large commercial or industrial business about 500 feet or 600 feet to the east there along roads. There's also a large townhome or multifamily development along roads just to the northeast there. And then most importantly, it's in a sense right across the street from City Hall and kind of the gateway to downtown Springdale. We're in the middle of this housing crisis. This Northwest Arkansas as a whole does need more housing, and we feel that this is a really compatible area for MF16. And it also, in our opinion, acts as a good buffer from the downtown Springdale area, transitioning to this MF16, and then again towards this single-family SF2 that we have just to the north. In the staff memo, it mentions that this would be applicable to a seed district zoning. When we met with staff, the seed district just did not work for our vision for this development. Namely, I believe is because it really only allows duplexes and single-family housing and what we were applicable for this site. So I'm here for any questions if you have any. The owner is here as well.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding this rezone request? If you will, come to the podium, name and address. If there's a few of you, if you could, don't repeat multiple things. That's okay. Thank you.
Hi, my
Hello.
name is Elisa Snow, and I live at 804 Mill Street. Mine is more questions than it is opposition at this point. We have sewer issues on that street. When it rains, it smells like an outhouse, the whole street. There's major issues. There's water issues on that street. The water pipes break in the middle of the street and it gushes down the street. The water department comes out and fixes it, and what they told us was it's antiquated pipes that need to be replaced, and it can't take the stress of any more housing. We have 2 apartment complexes, one at the end and one Mill Creek. They're lovely, they're kept up, it's older people, we are happy with that. My question is, with all this going on over there, do we really want to put 16 or 24 more units on this street that's already struggling? It has traffic issues. It is the historic district. It's the oldest street in Springdale. The history of that, there was Confederate battles fought on the creek down there. I mean, I'm all for progress. And I would like to hear exactly what they have in mind for that. But I want them to keep in mind what we're struggling with every day. There are times of the day when everybody is using their water, the water pressure is almost nil. It's not my pipes, I've had them checked, it's the city. So I'm like, do we really want to add? That's my question. I'm not opposed. I'm more, is this going to be fixed before they do it? I mean, there needs to be some work done on that. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Ray, hi. I live at 615 Mill. My biggest concern is the traffic. That has become a very busy road with the big complex, with the old folks complex back there. There are a lot of them driving. And the party mentioned about the industrial park back there, that's part of the traffic problem. We got enough tractor trailers come off Huntsville, onto Mill, turn east on roads, and then come back out. That's the ones that do it legally. Then we got the few that come down from the north, and they're not helping the road any. We got a little old bridge down there that can hardly take that, I think. And does MF16 mean they get to put 16 units? Is that what that means?
No.
Okay, so how many are they thinking about putting on that little piece of dirt?
So we don't have a development plan submitted yet. So I know that they had like a draft site plan laid out. I don't particularly like the way that it's oriented either. I think the site would be good to have it oriented towards the Greenway, highlight that trail there. But there's been no development plan submitted yet. And so we're only talking about the rezoning and whether it's appropriate in that location. So if they, and to answer the other young lady's questions that spoke, that when they do submit a development plan, at that point we would look at, we might request, depending on the engineering department, they might request a traffic study, right? The water department might request a sewer study. Like there could be other elements, but we do ask that developers have a responsibility to account for any development in progress that they are making. So if they come with a development plan, adjacent properties would also be notified, and we would probably be back here at the same meeting with the same body having to approve it.
So this isn't we're gonna do it or not right now, for sure?
Well, is this zoning appropriate that could potentially allow them to do it at some point?
How many units per acre can they do at MF16?
They can have 12 by right, but they would have to meet other incentives through our multifamily design standards to be able to achieve that 16 units per acre.
Well, I am kind of concerned about how many units, but more so the traffic. I mean, you know, if you put 12 in there, there's going to be 24 cars in there at least. That's going to be a terrible spot to be trying to get in and out of. It's kind of a crapshoot getting out of your driveway now. And I know the city's spent a bunch of money getting that all fixed up, and it looks really good, and I know they're not going to want to redo all that. So that's my main concern, traffic.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Randy Cook. I'm 100 Roads. I'm diagonal from the corner. And my concern too, it looks like the feeder traffic comes down Rhodes Avenue. You can't get down Rhodes Avenue. It's full of trucks all day long and backed up to the corner. And in the historical, keeping that convention, my little house was built in 1895. It's a little yellow house on the corner. All those houses are single family and kind of have that flavor. So I'm not sure, it depends on the development, needs to be consistent with that.
Sure.
And then there's a lot of that in floodplain, right? And the Greenway already floods from time to time. I need some assurance that that's not going to be exacerbated when this happens.
Understood. Thank you.
You bet.
I'm Jeff Bowen at 604 Mill Street. And just to clarify on the number of units, since it's 1.7 acres and it's MF16, does that mean that there could be like 22 units or whatever the math is on that, or does it just?
It depends. They would have to lay it out, right? Because there's other elements to consider.
Yeah.
The parking, the open space, can they build in the floodplain? So I wouldn't want to even throw a number out without a draft site plan.
Okay. And then quickly on the historic aspect, my house was built in 1924. The next door is 1907. I think Randy's across the street at 1895. So somebody said something about incompatibility with, neighborhood fabric earlier, and I feel this would be incompatible. And then one other thing on the traffic, of course, there's no other way to enter or exit from there because it backs up to the trail. So, at rush hour, that's going to be a lot of extra cars getting in. And the problem would be that it's right up next to the Huntsville intersection. So I think that could really cause a traffic snarl. So that's
Thank
all I
you.
got.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nathan Gardner. I am at 760 Mill Street, and I would like to kind of echo, repeat everything else that everybody else has said pretty much. Our house was built in 1927. The next door neighbor to us, I think, was in 1916. It was a very historic district of downtown Springdale, and completely agree, this would not fit the fabric. This would definitely disrupt the neighborhood as well. Traffic is definitely a huge concern. I had a traffic study done in 2017, and sorry, let me get those numbers here just real quick. In a 1-week period, we had 24,847 vehicles that went down our road, and of those, 8,953 were speeding. Again, this was 7-8 years ago, and I have requested another traffic study for about a year. Nothing was ever done in 2023 to 24. So again, traffic, sewage, it just is not going to fit the fabric of the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good
Hello.
evening. So I'm here on behalf of my family too. They're over there. Wave, guys. And some that can't make it.
Can we have
to
your
visit.
name and address?
Oh, Abril Guerra, 519 Mill Street. And then also my family owns 521 Mill Street.
Thank you.
So we're right in front of this idea that they have, which is baffling to me because already the traffic is horrible. Our driveways are like right next to the street, so sometimes it takes us like 5 minutes just to get out and go to our destination. Also, my sisters, they go to school. One goes to J.O. Kelly Middle School, and the bus also stops there. So then you can imagine the bus is there, then the trailers come that are gonna go by Clement Papa's, I think that's what it's called, that business that they have. So it creates a lot of traffic. It's, I agree with everything that they said too about like the sewer lines and stuff. We have horrible water pressure. My grandpa's been there since 1995 or so, and I've grown up there since I was 2. So, I think seeing this grow, I think it's awesome, but I wouldn't appreciate, and my family would not appreciate either having more homes being built there. It's just not, I don't think it's a great idea for that. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioners, any questions or comments regarding this rezone request? I have a question. Can you speak toward the seed? What could be possible? I'm just for my own knowledge,
So
since Jake mentioned it in his presentation.
And that was one recommendation that staff had worked with them. So our Springdale Elective Enhancement District, our SEED, it's an overlay towards the north and the south of the form-based code that allows property owners or applicants to basically request a form-based code zoning, which is our downtown. And I heard a couple people, I think even Jake, like that this area is the gateway to downtown. We have this housing crisis, and some of the residents I heard talk about that they wanted to honor this historic nature of the area. And our form-based code, it has more of an emphasis on the form, so what the buildings look like, and that they kind of complement and are compatible with the neighborhood in general rather than the use. And our land use plan in this area Staff supports medium density in this area. That is what we foresee, and we know that there are some infrastructure constraints, and that would have to be worked out with the development and the engineers, but the C district is a better use of this space in staff's opinion. So our multifamily design standards, which are circa 2004, require 3 parking spots per unit for the first 20, where in the C district, if you opted into an NC2, it would be half a parking space per one. It could potentially allow flexibility to have these oriented towards the trail rather than the street. This is a unique piece that something neat could be done with. So staff's recommendation was to potentially explore that. However, land use plan does say medium density, and we are not opposed to that level of density.
Thank you for that clarification. Oh, yep.
Mind if I just say one thing?
Please do.
Real quickly. We discussed the seed district within our planning meeting we had. It's really difficult to get a seed district to work here just because, again, duplexes and single family is really all that we would be allowed to do here. And if you look at the site, half of it's in floodplain.
It is eligible for the NC2, which does open up triplex, fourplex, Jackie,
Sure.
And potentially some other types too. So there are some other types of buildings and residential ones that could be possible.
With how much floodplain and floodway is on the property, we really need to build up rather than build out.
Understood.
Let me know if you have any questions on that.
Will do. Any other comments, public, staff, commissioners, anyone? Yes, Jackie.
Well, some of the building types that are allowed in an NC2 are duplex, triplex, fourplex, row houses and courtyard row houses, something that could really mesh well with the neighborhood itself. Courtyard building, for example, something like that. There's also a building height maximum of 3 stories or 45 feet, but there are some addendums in there in terms of notes just to see what would be acceptable. But this might just be interesting to look at, if anything, and fully consider.
Thank you for that. So this request from A1, I'm on the wrong one, from SF2 to M16. This will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That fell 7-2. I think most of the commissioners are for more density, but like to see more of a seed approach, just more form-based over just units per square acre.
And since this request failed, you have the right to appeal the Planning Commission's decision to City Council. You have to file the appeal in writing to the City Clerk's office within 15 days of the Planning Commission meeting. You have to identify why you think the error of the Planning Commission's decision and re-notify the adjacent property owners.
If we were to ask for a different zoning request, would we have to wait at any period of time? Or could we file for, let's say, seed next month?
It depends if you would pursue an appeal or not, because we would not want to handle 2 separate requests for the same property at the same time. But if you chose not to appeal, you could apply for a different zone. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving forward to public hearing conditional use. Our next item is C25-06. This is Marshall East Church on Huntsville Avenue. The use unit is 42 and a C2 presented by Johnson Jr. Like the shirt.
Thank you.
That's nice.
You can have it.
I don't think it looked good on me.
Thank you. And my name is Pastor John Januna with First Marshallese, Chitubal Langanang, Assembly of God. And I'm here to get an answer about the building that we use as a church.
Yes, sir.
And it's been used as a church, but I think, and if I'm not mistaken, it's been used as a church like a little over 10 years. And I just moved there like almost 2 years now, and we didn't know. And we were gonna have a garage sale one time, and we tried to apply for
A permit?
Permit.
Yes.
And that's what they told me.
Yes.
It is not on the system. So I've been working on this one for almost three months. So please,
Yes.
allow us to use the building at the church, and we will work with the city of Springdale.
Okay, thank you.
Please, thank you.
Staff comments?
And may God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we originally had a conditional use for a church in 2010, so we have at least 15 years of documented history as the site being a church. And I think due to the change in ownership, conditional uses are non-transferable, so there has to be a new one sought. The site conditions are acceptable, other than the off-street parking. I think parking is the main and only issue that the planning department sees with that. They are required to have 63 parking spaces, including 3 ADA, per the required occupancy load. Right now, they have 36 on site, including 2 ADA. A parking agreement with an adjacent property within 300 feet on the same side of the street, or a variance for a parking reduction, one of those two things are essential. We have to have some way to address the lack of parking. Other than that, the ingress and egress is acceptable. The refuse and trash area is acceptable. Utilities, screening buffer, yard requirements, size, shape of the site, proposed landscaping, unknown, but the general compatibility with adjacent properties in the site is acceptable. So really, it's just down to the parking.
Can I say something?
Please do.
Yeah. Our members are not over 60 members in there. And we don't use that building like every day. Only on Sunday, that is the only day people are coming. And during weekdays, we use like Wednesday, Thursdays, Friday. It's just like a little after 6 o'clock. And on Sundays, it's not that crowded, so.
And I've
yeah,
never heard of a,
we will work with that one.
I haven't heard of any parking complaint, but that requirement is actually set by an occupancy that the fire marshal sets, which is just based on the size of the congregation area. So that's why the 63 is set. It's based on the size of the church itself. So we have either kind of two routes to achieve that. So either seek a parking variance, so it's an application through us where you ask to not have to be required to have as much, or work with an adjacent property owner for a shared parking agreement for overflow.
Yeah.
Do you know your neighbor who's adjacent to you? Do you know the people who are adjacent to your church?
They are moving out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they told me. It's like 2 of them are moving out. But right across from the church is Springdale Animal Shelter building, just right there.
Yeah, that'd be on the same side. So I think what would be best for you is either to attend or to see if you can obtain a parking shared agreement with your neighbor, or go back to the staff and ask for a variance request to reduce the amount of parking required. And so I think the best way to do that is, I'm assuming, table tonight, table this request tonight, and either take one of those two paths, either ask for a variance of parking, or I think what we prefer, if you could get your neighbor to agree to a parking shared shared parking.
Yeah,
That's usually the best thing for churches. in
Yeah,
this scenario.
I asked them one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can share parking with them.
I think, is there a form? I can't remember what.
There is, we have a template for a formal shared parking agreement where the property owner would have to sign.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just went.
Yeah, so if you can get with staff, they can help you with the form, and help even maybe facilitate getting that shared parking. I think if you can get that, that'd be what we really like to see. That way you can park as.
Okay, I will.
Okay, so we'll table this tonight. That means you have to come back next month. We get to see a different shirt next month.
I can build a hula. That's what me too.
Thank you.
Thank you. May God bless.
Thank you. So that's tabled for next month. Hopefully we can follow up and make that happen for them. Next up is C25-11 SRS Emily LLC. This is a tandem lot split in a C2. There's also a variance for reduction of rear and side setback presented by RMP LLP.
All right, good evening. My name is Hall Frost. I'm with RMP LLP, and we represent the applicant and owner here, SRS Emily LLC. They own 6 commercial buildings along West Sunset Avenue, 1860, 1840, 1810, and 1772 West Sunset. If you look at the survey and plat that we submitted, my clients would like to separate 1860 on the south from 1840 on the north. In fact, their plan is to hopefully, pending the outcome of this application, is to sell 1860 West Sunset and retain 1840 West Sunset. Of course, establishing an access easement for the benefit of 1840. If this were allowed, of course, this would create a tandem lot, and so that's why we're seeking a conditional use permit tonight. Beyond that, they're also seeking a variance for some of the C2 zone setbacks. There's a couple of buildings that are currently, pre-existing use within that setback range. The first is 1840 West Sunset. It currently, there's a one-story masonry building that encroaches on the side setback as well as the rear setback, so we'd seek a variance there. And we're also seeking a variance as to the rear setback for the one-story masonry building at 1772 West Sunset Avenue. Again, these 2 buildings have been there. They were there when my clients bought them, so they're in existing use. So for that reason, we'd ask that these requests be granted. Happy to answer any questions as needed.
Thank you. Staff comments?
I do have a couple comments on the tandem lot. So the tandem lot, this is a conditional use request we don't see too often. It's a piece of property that sits directly behind another, often lacking that direct street frontage of its own. And the main requirement for a tandem lot in Springdale is that there is a 25-foot wide access easement with at least 15 foot of that paved. And luckily, this site, having that shared drive all the way to the back, that condition already exists. So the site in general, because of that existing arrangement, the proposed lot split appears reasonable. They've submitted an informal plat for us to review, which is subject to this conditional use request. So I think internally, there's some comments between staff and the surveyor.
Thank you. Any public comment regarding this rezone request or this tandem lot split? Any commissioners, any comments? If not, let's handle the variance first of these existing buildings. This will be a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. The tandem lot split is also a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0 as well.
Staff will prepare a resolution that goes to City Council on Tuesday, October 28th. You're not required to attend, but highly encouraged in case there are questions. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Moving on to preliminary plats, replats, and final plats. First up is PP 25-13, Canopy Cottages PUD, presented by Odyssey Engineering.
Good evening, this is Jake Chavis with Odyssey Engineering again. This is a PUD rezoning that City Council passed last month. You guys have seen this property a couple times. We're not asking for any variances or waivers. It's exactly as we presented it to you guys a couple of months ago in our rezoning request. There are a few outstanding comments by staff, but they all seem minor and things that we can all work out. And we're okay with approval on conditions, staff comments.
Thank you. Staff comments?
I have one first before some of the departmental comments, and that's, I think we had talked about it during Planning Commission with the rezoning of the PUD. I just want to make sure that it's clear that for this development, we are requesting non-combustible materials just on all the structures. So I just wanted to make sure, I think we saw some documentation. I just want to make sure that's set.
Yeah, we have that in our PUD document, but Ed pointed out in his comments to us that the language there made it seem like we were just asking for the front of the building, but our intention was the sides in between the buildings. That makes the most sense, so.
Thank you. Go ahead, staff.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start with planning. So in addition to the standard planning comments, we just need some confirmation of the 20-foot wide access and drainage easement that's around the detention area. You'll just have to file that easement before we can approve the plans and before construction can begin. Any fences that are crossing that drainage easement can't block the stormwater flow and should have something like removable panels in order to allow for maintenance and access. Truncated domes are needed at all street crossings. These should be clearly marked on the plat along with details of whether or not the ramps will be included. Please label the detention pond and open space areas with their lot numbers and clarify whether lot 47, track 2 is part of the PUD. I think it's not, so we might just go ahead and add a note directly to the plans. And comment number 7 regarding the certified mail notifications to adjacent property owners has been satisfied, and those materials have been received by the planning office.
Engineering comments, show extent of improvements to Thompson, show parking on Morris, submit the pond maintenance plan, submit construction plans with formal street and storm design, submit the landscaping plan showing street trees and a landscape buffer. We had some questions about the existing sewer line that runs through the property and whether that needs to be relocated or the easement's vacated. And then if desired, green space may be reduced on the local streets and sidewalks, move closer to the back of curb to lengthen driveways. Most of this is construction comments. I really don't have any issues with the plat itself.
Any public comment regarding this PUD? Commissioners, any comments?
Lighting plan?
Lighting plan?
Is there going to be site lighting?
I'm sure there will be, but we don't have a requirement for single-family subdivisions for a photometric plan, but I hope. I'm sure there'll be some creative lighting once you guys get building, right?
They'll be required to do streetlights.
Streetlights.
Per chapter 110, but not necessarily provide a photometric.
Okay, I didn't know if around the parking areas, if that was going to be, since there were separate parking lot-ish areas.
It's encouraged.
Can I clarify, Jake, did you say all external materials will be non-combustible on the buildings? Okay, thank you. This is a motion subject to staff comments, so we'll need a motion in a second.
Motion subject to staff comments.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. Appreciate it. Moving forward to large-scale developments. Next up is L25-28, Reef Street House Warehouse, Reef Street, I'll get this right in a minute, Reef Street Warehouses Revised. It's presented by ESI.
Thank you, Jason Apple with ESI. Yes, this was a previously approved large scale back in 17. Didn't get built, obviously, and so we're here requesting reapproval. Can I answer any question?
Thank you. Staff comments?
In addition to our standard comments, planning's only comment is just to refer to some additional utility department comments that had came in. Those were distributed with the memo.
Sure.
Engineering comments, please update the drainage report with the outlet points shown on the drainage maps. Clarify what type of outlet structure is in the pond. Provide analysis for the existing channel, dedicate appropriate easements and resize if needed. We also need a drainage easement on the east side of the pond from the adjacent property owner. Update the floodplain note with the proper panel date, and then show wheel stops on ADA spaces.
Any public comment regarding this? Commissioners, any comments?
Is lighting required here?
Well, whenever this was first submitted in 2017, it was zoned commercial. So they first submitted it and had it approved with commercial design standards. So I don't know if there was a photometric plan in 2017. I did not, but it since has been rezoned to I-1 a couple years ago. So under today's requirements, no, they don't have to have a photometric plan. I don't know if you guys had submitted one.
I don't know. I assume there was one in 17 with the plan, but I don't know that.
Will you have it sufficiently lit?
The parking areas will be lit, yes.
No further comments. This is a motion subject to staff comments.
Motion subject to staff comments.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next up is L 25-29, Lucky's Indoor Bart Park. This is a revised, previous it was L 24-01, presented by Expedient Civil Engineering.
Jason Ingles with Expedient Civil Engineering. This project was originally approved in 2023. We came back and asked for an extension. Technically, that extension doesn't expire until December. However, the client, based on demand for whatever she's doing there, decided to increase the square footage from 8,000 some odd square feet to a little over 13,000 square feet. The building will be sprinklered. We do have a sprinkler system. So that should cover Ed's comments if he has any, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Staff comments?
Standard comments remain for this revision of Lucky's Indoor Park, and I would just like to provide a little bit more information in addition to what has already been provided, just so we can have the full historical context. So Lucky's Indoor Park was first submitted back in 2023 as a large-scale development along with some variance requests, mainly to allow for a metal facade on the south side of the building and to shift the required landscaping from the foundation to the site perimeter. And this was to make room for the necessary kennels. Both the development and the variances were approved by the Planning Commission in May of that year. In December of 2023, the project came back with a revision, and that updated version was brought to the January 2024 Planning Commission meeting. At the same time, both the preliminary plat and final plat were reviewed, with the final plat officially approved by City Council on January 9th of the same year. Later that year, in December of 2024, the applicant requested and was granted a one-year extension. We're still within that period, but this current revision shows a proposed increase in building square footage. And we're going from a little over 8,100 square feet to just about 1,300 square feet.
Is that all the staff comments? Go ahead.
Engineering has no comments.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding this? Commissioners, any comments? Questions? If none, this will be a motion.
So motion. Second.
Thank you. It passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Let's get this thing built.
Yes.
Next up is L 25-30, Westwood Elementary. A handful of variances are also a part of this request, and also a waiver of street improvements presented by Springdale School District and ESI.
Hello, I'm Noah Giels with ESI. We're proposing a new building for Westwood Elementary on the same site as the existing building. We are requesting a couple variances for commercial design standards because mainly the reason being it's a school and it's not intended to go along the same design standards as a commercial development.
Yeah, we clearly need to update or have a variance for school design based on this list. Staff comments?
For planning, we'll need to submit a replat of the Walker addition, and we need to work with staff to solidify the construction phasing plan. The stamped concrete for the internal crosswalks is being requested for the schools for safety purposes. We need to provide playground fencing details and update those callouts on the plan. The trail lighting shall be provided, that design I mean, and it is not recommended to not provide any lighting in the playground area nor on the west side of the gym. And the variance B2588 for commercial design standards has been requested for a 5-foot sidewalk along the full length of the building that features a customer entrance, a roof line change in height every 100 linear feet, a trash collection within 20 feet of an internal walkway and the landscaping associated with that trash collection, the chain link fence material and breaks within that fencing, and compatible use screening requirements, foundation and perimeter landscaping, and for all those nonconformities on the east side of the property. And then we are also requesting a waiver of street improvements for McRae Avenue.
Engineering comments, please submit the signed and sealed drainage report, add a trickle channel to the pond. McRae must be brought up to master street plan standards for which a waiver has been requested. And engineering does support this waiver as we are already working on designing the improvements to McRae as part of the Smart School Connections program. And so we're proposing to partner with the school district to get these trails built with the school, and then the street improvements will come a little bit later. Please dedicate the multi-use trail easement for the future trail, include MUTCD striping details, submit a signage and traffic circulation plan for reference, submit a replat. There's an alley on the west side of this property. We're wondering if it needs to be vacated because it does show some improvements in there, and whether you guys have found records of it being previously vacated. Same with the utility easement that's running through the site. Does it need to be vacated, or are there records of a previous vacation? Show trail lighting on the west side of the building. I think we had discussed this being wall packs on the building to light the trail, and show the location for the relocated streetlight.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding this? Any questions or comments from commissioners? Sorry. I was looking the wrong way.
My name is Randall Dial. I live at 312 Harv Street. I own adjacent property to Westwood Elementary. I'm a 30-plus year resident, and I am a long-life citizen of Springdale through my family's heritage. I have been a school teacher substitute for the school district. I understand strongly the overcrowding. I will tell you right now, this property has several issues with traffic, drainage, and plot size. You go to pull this property into a larger scale building, you're going to have to do a humongous amount, if these guys have not done their analysis, of reevaluating the property structure. The ground will not take that kind of structure, and they'll have to, therefore, that will bring in a large amount of scale trucking to build the property up. The road structure in that area is not designed and has not been designed for heavy truck equipment. I spent several years in the trucking business as a job. It takes a lot of structure for that to take place. The need of analyzing the traffic flow is huge. I sat and watched daily of backup traffic at West End and McRae. Traffic backs up to blocked where you cannot make it through the intersection. There's another issue joining to this situation that's going to have to be addressed. I highly suggest you do not approve this offer to develop this property. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Can ESI speak to, the representative, speak to some of the traffic now versus what you guys are proposing?
So now, most of the traffic does back up on McRae in that third lane. The new design, we can catch all of the parent drop-off and pickup traffic in the double lanes that's there on the south of these plans. So the upper two lanes will be for your third through fifth grade, and the bottom two would be kindergarten through third grade. Your pre-K parking would be on the north side, and then all of your buses, trash, deliveries would come in on the north side through a separate drive to separate the drop-offs and pickups from the parent traffic and the staff traffic.
Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Any other comments or questions? You want to vote on the waiver? This will be a motion before the city council.
I have some comments for,
Okay, please comment.
okay. Are those trees on the south side existing?
Yes, there's existing trees. We have a demo plan and a landscaping plan showing which trees we're going to attempt to save.
I just wanted to mention, so specific to the lighting plan, I know that the height is within permissible height. It's a little higher than I would prefer, especially with the residential surrounding area. I just had some concerns because I was looking at the layout. It looks like you've got a bunch of lights that are right under trees or right in trees, or I'm just concerned that, the calculations may not be taking that into account.
We'll work with the lighting person and make sure it's updated accordingly.
That'd be Jennifer. Anything else? You good? Quick question, the loading on this, you were talking about double lanes. Do you know how much capacity you've added by designing these 2 pickup lanes from what it currently has?
We should be able to hold about 235 vehicles.
So that's quite a bit
between all
more
of the
than.
stacking lanes.
Sure. Thank you for that. So the first is up is a motion to forward to City Council recommendation to approve or deny a waiver of street improvements on McCray.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. That waiver motion to forward to City Council passes 9-0. Do we want to take all variances together? Yes? Okay. This will be a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That also passes 9-0. And lastly, the large scale, this will be a motion subject to staff comments.
Motion subject to staff comments.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. Thank you.
So for the waiver, staff will prepare a resolution that goes to council on the 28th. And I also want to mention through some of the concept and pre-application meetings that we had with the professionals and everybody involved in this project. Every single meeting had multiple Westwood Elementary alumni in it.
That's cool.
I mean, every single meeting had multiple, so that was fun.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Next up is a public hearing for form-based code, FB 25-12. Simply Scoops LLC. This is a request for deviation for cafe frontage encroachment. Barry and Cindy Bosecker.
Hi, Barry
Hello.
Bosecker. Sorry, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to say here, but just seeking your approval. It's an ice cream shop, and we want to have some seats and tables out front and pretty the place up for downtown Springdale, so.
Will they be pink like this?
The
chairs?
The chairs will be a
Go
dark
back.
pink, like dragon fruit.
Like that?
And the tables will be a cherry, which is the light pink.
Very good. Are these movable? They're not like
Yes.
secured, they're movable?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be movable.
Any public comment?
No, but if I could just
Sorry.
mention why we have this request before us. Originally in 2017, when the form-based code was approved and adopted, encroaching in the right-of-way with things like furniture was permitted by right. And during the last update in 2023, it's no longer allowed by right, so it takes a deviation to ask permission. And this way, we can state on the record what kind of furniture and how much, and then also just ensure that we have the right amount of clearance for ADA access so that our sidewalks do stay clear for accessibility for pedestrians.
Are you gonna rail it off like your neighbor?
I'm sorry?
Are you gonna enclose it like your neighbor has?
We had not planned to, no, because the neighbor is a bar, so I think
Yeah.
they have to enclose it. And
Heard.
ours is ice cream.
Are your tables and chairs gonna come out any further than the Bucks railing does?
It should not, no. No, we did the measurements, they're within where his railing extends to.
It seems like, does the city have the right to require them to remove these completely for certain events like we did with our last deviation request?
If necessary, if the city thought for some reason that it was required, we could. The last one, Onyx, was a little different because they're next to a city park, but.
Sure. This will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
When are you opening?
Hopefully by the end of this month.
That'd be good.
If this passes, we'll see y'all there.
That passes 9-0. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Next up is board adjustment. First up is B 25-75, Robert Hernandez and Elizabeth Martinez, variance for reduction of rear setback from 30 foot to 29 foot, presented by Robert.
Hello, good evening. My name is Roberto Hernandez, and I'm here because I want to apply for this only 1 foot. I want to build a awning or patio. That's why the reason I'm here. So I need only 1 foot for the city to give me the permit.
Thank you. Staff comments? Any public comment regarding this request? Commissioners, any comments? If none, this will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That passes 9-0. He knew it. Next up is B 25-76, Maria Sendelis, variance for increased fence height from 3 foot to 6 foot, presented by Henry Arias.
Hi.
Hello, you're not Henry.
I'm here to get a variance on my fence from 3 feet to 6 feet.
Is this the fence we're looking at? I'm
Yes.
assuming? Is that picture from your,
Yes, that's from
your
my
porch?
Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any comments? Public comment regarding this request? Staff comments?
It's already built and you're just seeking approval for
Yes.
this, or were there plans to expand it? Okay, just where it is now?
Yes.
Is there any site issues determined by engineering?
It really doesn't look like there will be. We can come out and look at it if we need to. The only suggestion I would make is, you could taper down the last row of boards to provide a little bit more, just visual when you're backing out of your driveway. But if y'all can back out of your driveway and see fine, then everyone else should be okay too.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of the neighbors or anything has any issues.
This will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
That passes 9-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is B 25-78, William and Laura Timmons. Request is for variance from increased front fence height from 3 foot to 6 foot, presented by William and Laurie.
It's actually not front to us.
Sure. We see this all the time.
We're
on a corner.
Understood.
It's on the
Yeah,
side.
and we're just trying to increase our backyard,
Yeah.
for our dog and grandson, new grandson.
Understood. So it looks like you have an existing fence now, and you just
Yeah.
want to
We're just gonna
extend it and
extend it.
enlarge that size. Yeah, can you state your name, please? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
State your name.
Bill Timmons, William Timmons.
Yeah, thank you. Any staff comments?
Same comment, as long as you guys can see backing out of your driveway, it shouldn't be an obstacle. You're gonna go 5 feet behind the sidewalk?
No, before we get.
We're 15 feet from the curb.
Where we're getting.
Right. So you'll have, the sidewalk will end and then you'll have 5 more
Yeah.
feet. Okay, that should be perfect.
Yeah.
What is a 4 foot, 3 foot? What's that showing?
They had also applied for a driveway expansion, I believe.
Want to put 2 cars side by
We
side?
widened our-
Yes.
our
Yeah.
driveway.
Any public comments regarding this request? Commissioners, any comments? If none, this is called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Passes 9-0. Enjoy your bigger yard.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up is B 25-84, Jeremy Ramos, a variance for reduction of rear setback from 20 foot to 10 foot, presented by Gage Hutchison.
Good afternoon.
My name is Gage. I am Jeremy's brother-in-law. I'm just trying to help them build a patio awning in their backyard so that they can enjoy the outdoor space. The homes in their neighborhood were built right about 20 feet from the property line.
Is this a good depiction? Is it really 11 and a half or is it actually 10?
It's actually 10.
Okay.
The variance is 10, yes. It's going to be 11 and a half from where the concrete is poured.
Got it. And you are covering this? Is that what you
Yes.
said? Is it open?
It will be open,
around?
yes.
Any public comments regarding this request? Please come forward, state your name and address. Thank you.
I'm Sam Parson. I live at 635 Westbury. That is adjacent to that property. Our backyard meets their backyard, so we're directly behind them. My concern is those are small yards, and right now, I'm concerned about the drainage. I didn't see anything about a drainage in this, French drain, something like that, to keep the water off of my property. Because it's going to go, they're just a little bit higher in elevation than we are, so it's going to come to our property. And so I've got concerns about that. I've also have a neighbor just to my south, probably half of his yard has been paved. So I'm already getting a lot of water from his area. And also have concerns about any lighting that's going to be involved. And if that'll get over our fence.
Sure.
And shot into our home.
I would like the fence to go from 6 foot to 7 foot. I want to make sure it's not no more than this to my backyard where this huge concrete patio has been built. I have no problem with it as long as they don't have their drains coming down and my backyard flooding from it.
Sure.
Because these are very small backyards and they're very quiet people. We have no problem with them.
Sure.
But when we look over into our yard, there's that much before it hits my fence. Just like the neighbors next to us, I have no idea if they got all that, done properly. But we want to be there for the rest of our lives till we retire.
Understood.
And I want to make sure there's no flooding problems and stuff. Luckily, we are up on a hill, but that backyard being that close, I don't want those drains and all that rain coming right off into here. That's all we.
Is there any drainage involved in this? French drains? Where are the downspouts going to go?
It's great questions. Any comments, staff? Or building, I'm not sure how we.
I don't think we've been provided with any of that information at this point.
No, and whenever it comes to single-family home, with an alteration like this, we would not require like a drainage report or something. However, we do have, just with our area regulations of the zoning, I'm not sure, is this a SF2? If staff knows off the top of their head, if it's a single-family residential zoning, we do have a cap that we don't want more than 40% of that building to be impervious, which ultimately is supposed to help protect that and help guide that, to make sure that we don't have just water running off on an entire piece of property. But if the applicant is interested, the engineering department could always help provide recommendations or advice for at-home drainage solutions.
Well, is that going to be done though? I mean, our.
It's not a requirement of this for a single-family home.
You see this where they're going to bring it over the top. It's going to drain right down, and if those drains are turned towards our yard, why would that not impose on us?
Yeah, it's going to end up in our backyard.
No, your statements, we understand. Gage, you got any comments toward like how you might handle the water runoff or anything while you're standing here, since I think you said you're helping them do this?
Yeah, I work in roofing and construction largely, so gutter and downspouts is part of my job. I don't believe that the homeowners would be opposed to working out a solution to ensure that there wouldn't be specifically water running off that way. There are already gutters across the back of the house, and it's going to be the same length of gutters. So I don't anticipate there being any more or less water in their backyard or leaving their backyard than there is right now.
I guess what they're asking, or I guess, if the downspouts could be turned not facing their property facing sideways maybe or something, I think it can be resolved fairly easily.
I agree. I believe that's very doable.
Yes.
Yes.
Just to reinforce that the water from your runoff from your roof, downspouts has to go either to the public street or to a drainage easement. It can't go to a neighbor's property.
There you go.
And what about the fence?
Because when they walk out now and they're sitting there, I mean, they're looking down in.
I don't know if there's going to be lighting involved.
Sure. Gage, you got any comments about the lighting?
We do not anticipate putting any exterior lighting at this point in time.
Okay, that's what we want to know.
Sure.
Any big spotlights or, you know.
Yeah, understood.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Like I said, we just looked over and realized, and we just want to make sure, so appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Any other comments? If not, this will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 9-0. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Next up is B25-86 Panda Express. Variance for minimum distance from drive-through and residential district, presented by CFT NV Developments. Hello.
Good evening. Aaron Douglas, representing Panda Restaurant Group and CFT Developments. So yeah, this variance is in regard to properties that are actually across Young Street from us. They're still zoned residential, so they're within that minimum distance. Our lot today is an existing drive-through restaurant, not operating at the moment, but so really not making any changes to the existing use. But due to the proximity of that residential behind us, we do need the variance.
So what is the thatch line? What does this represent? Is that where your building's going to be, or what is that rectangle? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's just like the rough drive-through lanes behind our proposed building.
Gotcha. So is this an existing building? I can't remember, I'm sorry.
It was like a Captain D's and then a
Okay.
C-Max and yeah.
Are you using it, or are you going to tear it down and
No, we're
build?
tearing it down and building new.
Same location, or the building's going to go?
Roughly. I think it'll be a little closer to the rear of the site, but
It's
we are
actually-
separating drive-through function only behind the building and the parking out front.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, some of the intent behind this is, although our code says that there's a minimum separation of 200 feet from residentially zoned, the way that the planning department has interpreted stuff is often by use, not necessarily by zone. And so there are some existing residentials right behind this property that are zoned C2, but that are just nonconformities. And since this building, since a new one, it's being demolished or modified in some way, where the new one is being built closer to, as close as possible, to the rear of that property, which is as close as possible to those residential. So we wanted to seek this, ask the applicant to seek the variance for that reason.
Yep, one other thing we did try to do is we rotated our speakers for the order boards at like a 45 degrees, so they don't point at the residences behind us. They kind of point back out towards the corner of the lot to hopefully help.
Yeah,
help
nice.
that as well.
Wouldn't have thought of that. Is your lighting, can you speak to the lighting on your site, or is it full cutoff? I mean, I'm worried a little bit about light trespass to the.
Sure, yeah. I don't think we have a fully developed light plan yet, but
Sure.
we do, obviously, on all of our sites, put photometric plans together.
Yeah.
And
I think
are
just
cognizant
that
of
side to
the-
do the best you can, keep your light, so there's no light leakage and pollution onto their property. I think that'd be great. Good neighbors. Like the design of the building. That's a great looking Panda Express.
Thank you.
Any public comments regarding this request? Commissioners, any comments?
I was just wondering, is there a requirement for like a fence or some kind of?
Buffer?
Buffer
I'm
behind?
assuming.
I believe we are installing a fence.
I'm not sure what is proposed with this. I believe it's a non-large scale that's under review. I'm not sure who's looking at it, but does anybody know off the top of their head? If not, we will follow up and make sure there's some sort of screening and buffering between those incompatible uses.
Yeah, so tonight's request is, I'm assuming the driveway to the top here that empties into Velma Avenues, how close it is to the residences there. So this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up is B25-87, Creekfront 49, Lot 2. Variance for commercial design standards screening presented by ESI.
Thank you, Jason Apple with ESI. We're here to request a modification in the screening requirements to a more secure chain link fence option. And I'll answer any questions.
What was it before, privacy? Was there privacy?
Yeah, just privacy fence.
How tall is the chain link?
8 feet, I think it was 8 foot privacy, 8 foot chain link.
This was for a large scale that we just recently,
Yeah,
how long ago?
I remember seeing
Yeah.
it a few months.
A couple months ago, yeah. It's for Ferguson Water Supply.
Yeah.
They're gonna have materials out there in the yard, and they've asked us to modify the fence type, show more secure fencing option. But I think it says 8-foot tall, 11-gauge fabric.
With the slats, I think that was the other part.
Yeah.
Will include the slats in it, I'm assuming? Any public comments regarding this request? Any comments from commissioners? If not, this will be a call for the vote. Thank you. Passes 9-0. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jason. Next up is B 25-91, Worth Lane Event Center. Handful of variance requests along with, well, that's it. Detailed feature landscape that's presented by EDA.
James Gertz with EDA representing the client on this. This is an existing building on this site that we're requesting these variances. We had one for detailed features. I actually want to talk about that one. We were going to remove that, but we're wanting to reduce the front setback. But we want to make sure the awning we want to put on will be included in that reduction. So the front of the building is to the west on Worth Lane. And we'd like to meet the detailed features by putting an awning on our entrance on the west side. And that would reduce our setback from 30 feet down to 21 feet, because we're playing on a 4-foot awning, and the building encroaches already, it's 25.71 feet off the property line.
So you're putting this closer to the street, the road.
Say that again?
You're putting this closer to the street, essentially.
Well, it's an existing building, and we're gonna
Right.
put
But you're
an
adding an
awning.
awning that
pushes
encroaches.
it
I got you.
further into
And the
the
awning's
building.
there for some protection or?
Well, it's there because of site features
10-4.
requirements, commercial design standards, which is item A. And if we can push that setback, we can get rid of the site features variance request.
You're asking to remove it if you can get the variance to.
Yeah, I don't want to, yeah. But I don't want to ask for the variance to the existing
Understood.
building, and then we're stuck with an awning that we can't put there. And to speak to the parking requirements, this one is also on the west side. Worth Lane is a private road, and we have reached out to the adjacent property owner, and they've agreed verbally to allow us to place that parking across the property line as shown, and allow the back-end parking into the access easement. And so we'll get the parking agreement and access agreement documents finalized with their attorney. And the request is due to the city's ordinance of not being able to park within 3 feet of the parking line. And obviously, we're going over the property line with parking. So that's the meaning for that one. The variance for the minimum distance between drives, these are existing drives. We only have about 80 feet, I believe, and I think the requirement's 150 feet. So this is kind of an existing situation on our 2 drives at the north end and south end. And then we've kind of discussed the front setback variance. And then the landscaping variance has to do with the commercial design standards of landscaping around the foundation. Well, there's an existing sidewalk all the way around, and we are proposing taking that foundation and moving it to the other side of the sidewalk.
A lot of work on this project.
Yeah, we're fitting this one into the existing building.
Yeah.
A building that was there before they did all the lot splits and split this property up to make this situation.
Yeah, a
And so
nightmare.
now we're trying to fit it in to work it.
Yeah.
And if I can mention on the parking, I think it was staff that requested that they submit a variance for the parking requirements, because I think by the end of this, you'll actually be overparked. I think you're underparked like 4 or 7 spots.
Yeah.
However, staff's recommendation was if we did not have a finalized shared parking agreement done by the time of planning commission, that they should seek this parking variance, right?
Do you just have the one entry exit, or is there another?
So there's, to
On
the
Worth
north
Lane.
of the building, our property line incorporates the
Oh, I see it
north
now.
entrance.
I see it.
To the north of us is a church. And,
Do y'all share access?
well, there's nothing documented on that.
Are those parking lots connected?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I believe this building used to be attached to the church, and then
Sure.
at some time it got split off.
Understood. Any public comments regarding these requests? Staff comments?
I would like to clarify to the commission that the parking associated with this variance request will not be taking away from the private drive at all. It will still be the same width.
Thank you for that. Sounds like a win-win. Any comments from the commissioners? Do we want to take all these variances together? Yes?
Yes.
So I think that will automatically remove the detail features.
Okay.
Okay? So that'll be called for the vote. Thank you. Passes 9-0. Great work on working on this site.
Yep.
Next up is B 25-93, Rick and Amy Culver, request for variance reduction rear setback from 20 foot to 10 foot, presented by Rick Culver.
Rick Culver, 4503 Chapman, asking for a variance in the setback. I have called 811 to make sure there was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
They come out and mark it for you yet?
Pardon me?
They come out and
Yes.
mark it for you?
Yes.
You want to put a pool in? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any staff comments? Commissioners, any comments? If none, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 9-0. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next up is waivers. First is W 25-39 Firebox LLC. Waiver for street improvements on Johnson Road, presented by Nathan Morton. Hello.
Nathan Morton, 716 West Willock in Fayetteville. They're requesting a waiver of street improvements on Johnson Road. It's Wright's Barbecue Commissary Kitchen. I believe in the initial staff meeting with the contractor, I wasn't there, but it was just recommended we apply for the waiver due to, I believe, the limited nature of the addition and the size of the site, the location.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
That's all you know?
I might know more. You can ask me.
Yeah, understood. This will be any public comment regarding this request? Staff have any comments?
He pretty much said it. They have said they have future plans for this property, and I think the street improvements would better serve that development in the future. They're not going to really have customer access at this, well, they'll have no customer access at this
Yeah.
location.
It's better than what was there. This will be a motion to forward to city council with a recommendation to approve or deny. Can I get a motion?
So motioned. To approve.
Second.
Thank you. It passes 9-0, so that motion will be forwarded to city council to approve your waiver request.
Staff will prepare a resolution that goes to council on October 28th. You're not required to attend, but highly encouraged to.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is W 25-40, Randy and Linda Southwood. Waiver of right-of-way dedication presented by Randy and Linda Southwood.
In 2020, we built a house in downtown Springdale. And my builder owned my lot and the lot next door. There's a huge pecan tree on it, and I asked for that property to be deeded over to me, and he agreed. And I've made improvements, and it's my fault, but the deed never got done. So the property sold to Tom Lundstrom and Ken Hall. Well, when we got everything approved, the city come back and said, well, we're gonna let you guys do the line swap, but we're taking 3 feet of the front yard of both properties and taking the right of way. I've made tons of improvements, obviously on property that was not mine. And I'm just asking if that right of way cannot be enforced on this particular instance.
Did you make improvements in the right-of-way, or you just in general to the property itself?
In general to the property itself.
But not in the right-of-way itself, so we're not.
No, sir. The
Okay.
property's just 3 feet of the
Yeah,
front yard.
understood. Yeah.
But no, the property that I was told was mine I've added an outdoor cooking area. I just made a lot of improvements and
Yeah, I remember this coming through commission a couple of meetings ago, and we understood what was going on from that standpoint. I'm not sure what the right-of-way has to do with it. I guess, can staff clarify this a little bit?
Tom
Sorry.
Lundstrom and Ken Hall
Sure.
absolutely refuse to sign it if the city's gonna take the property and not purchase it.
Sign over the deed to you?
Yes.
Right, go ahead, can you
And
clarify?
may I ask, on your lot, Mr. Southwood, are you willing to dedicate the right-of-way on your portion?
Yes.
Okay, so really, it's just the property to the west right now that, because we would need the approval and signatures of all the property owners. So with an informal plat, which is a property line adjustment that we do administratively in-house, so this qualified for it, where we're just slightly moving a property line in the back. But part of those requirements is that every time we come through and sign a plat and move a property line, we require that the property owners dedicate the appropriate amount of right-of-way that matches today's master street plan. And since the last time I think the house was built or something was done, we had a new master street plan adopted. So collectors went from 60 foot of total right-of-way to 65, which meaning each half, if you do something, you have to now dedicate 2.5 more feet of right-of-way if you're on a collector. So that is this situation where staff needs that right-of-way dedication before we will agree to sign it. And now this is interesting because this involves two separate property owners, right, with neighboring properties. So the only way that we can try and resolve this is they can request a waiver of right-of-way dedication for an informal plat.
I guess my question is, if he's willing to give the right-of-way, why are we talking about this?
Because whenever we do an informal plat, it's all of the subject property. So since technically a very small amount, a minimal amount of strip of land from the western property is involved, it's still part of the total subject property.
So what type of precedent is there for this type of situation, or do we have one?
Well, we actually had one recently this year or some of 2024. We had one where, actually, I don't remember what the recommendation of Planning Commission was, but it made its way all the way to City Council. I think they tabled it, and ultimately, it never came back. There was not a decision, but council was vocal that they weren't in support of not dedicating the right-of-way.
Is there a way to allow him to receive his property without waiving this right-of-way? Is there a process to do that?
But that would be the ask, right? And ultimately, this could go to council and be their decision that there's two subject pieces of property involved in this. One is willing to, but one is not. So ultimately, it would be their decision. We would see what.
So is it basically because you're asking for the other movement that he's here asking and the other folks are not here asking for
I failed
that?
to stay on top of my builder and make sure that it got done. He didn't follow through. Here we are 5 years later. The new owner says, sure, we'll give it to you. Well, the rules changed within the 5 years. So now there's property and more property. So they're saying, hey, we agreed to give you this, but now the city wants an additional 3 feet, and we're not willing to do that.
And I don't know of any major street improvements or bond projects of West Maple. I know of no current planned improvements to it. However, this is the city's opportunity to acquire right-of-way. That way, whenever street projects and improvements do come aboard the city, we don't have to pay to acquire that right-of-way at a future date.
Now, this is standard procedure on every plat that's filed. We ask for the right-of-way to be donated to facilitate future improvements. We're not asking for the property to be deeded over, just for an easement to be signed on the subject property.
I guess my question, so I can't get past, I don't understand if he's saying he's fine with the easement, I don't understand why we're talking about it. I guess I'm confused about
It really should be the other property owners that are
The
here.
property next door, because they're taking property from both owners.
Right.
And Tom and Ken.
It's either all or nothing, is that what we're saying, basically?
I mean, I'll give mine up. I guess What I'm asking is you don't enforce it on Tom and Ken's property. Because the only other thing I would know to do at that, I mean, I guess worst case scenario, I could find out from you guys what you would buy the easement for if you couldn't take it. And then I would have to go back to Tom and Ken and ask them if I could
Purchase it, basically.
purchase it because my builder didn't follow through. I mean, that's,
Yeah,
I don't want to do that, but
yeah, I understand.
at the same time, I don't want to do all these improvements and have sidewalk and stuff on somebody else's property. So when it sells,
Right.
next thing you know, they're coming in my backyard, cutting down a tree, tearing out my sidewalk.
And I will say, I know this is tough because these are fairly small lots. I don't know what the frontage is, but not a whole lot, right? But the other example that we had talked about that set precedent recently that we took all the way to council, that particular piece of property had 900 foot of frontage. So it was very significant. So although this is small, there are some cases where this is an important tool for the city.
Any public comments regarding this request? Any comments from commissioners? If none, this will be a motion for the city council with a recommendation to approve or deny this waiver of right-of-way.
Motion to forward to city council with a recommendation to approve.
Thank you. That passes 5-2. That will be sent forward.
So, Mr. Southwood, staff is going to prepare a resolution that goes to city council on Tuesday, October 28th. Not required, it's highly recommended that you come and maybe the adjacent property owners too. Okay?
Will do, thanks.
Next up is L24-34 Summit Baptist Church of Springdale. This is a revision request presented by ESI.
Thank you, Brandon Rush with ESI. This commission approved Summit Baptist Church last year. We've worked on value engineering, pricing exercises, et cetera. Basically landed on a slightly smaller church. Parking lot's the same, site's all the same. The building itself is just slightly smaller, so we resubmitted it and are going through this. Wanted to give you guys a heads up of what was going on.
Thank you. Any comments? Any public comments regarding this request? Commissioners? If not, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 9-0.
Thanks.
Do we know if R25-54 Maja Investments LLC, have they made it to us? Here we go. This is a rezone request from A1 to C2. When you get late, you have to wait through the whole night, so that's your punishment.
Apologies for that. My name is Aaron Dunn. Yeah, first on the list, late, and that will never happen again. We're here to request the rezoning from A1 to C2 on 5089 Central Drive.
Give us a second. I think we're gonna go all the way back through the presentation to remember what we're talking about. Here we go. Any staff comments?
So for this one, the C2 General Commercial District is established for a broader range of retail uses. Permitted uses include most types of retail activity except those involving open display or merchandise. The rezoning request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Encourage the development of small-scale neighborhood retail services, uses at intersection of collector streets and at the edge of logical neighborhood areas or within neighborhoods where suitable sites exist and conditions are appropriate to balance compatibility with convenience. Improve the city's economic base and tax structure through the promotion of healthy, stable commercial concentrations.
Thank you for that. Any public comment regarding this rezone request? If none, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 9-0.
Staff will prepare an ordinance that's going to go to city council on October 28th. You're not required to attend, but you're highly encouraged in case there's questions, okay?
Is Twin Mountain LLC here? This is a request, variance for reduction of rear setback from 20 foot to 15, presented by Brian Claypool.
You said Twin Mountain LLC, right?
Oh, sorry, my eyes went down to the next one.
quite
Yes,
all right.
your request is a variance for reduction of front setback on American Street from 50 foot to 21 and a half, and a setback on Dividend Drive from 58 foot to 49 and a half, and presented by Ben Salmonson. Is
Yes, sir,
you?
that is correct.
All
And
right.
I'm actually here on behalf of Ben Solomon.
Okay.
I'm an executive broker at the Solomon Group, also working on behalf of Twin Mountain LLC.
Do we
Just
have
a
an
second.
Sorry, do we have an authorization? Did we get an authorization? I hate to put a wrench in it, but I just want to make sure that, because I know we had one from Mr. Solomson, but we're going to check.
Okay, please do.
What was your name?
Tyler
Sorry, sir.
Clark. I actually represent the property owner in the sale of the property itself. That's why we're appearing. We've got-
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have one. So we have to have an authorization that specifically states that whoever the applicant or property owner authorizes them to represent them at the planning commission meeting.
Yeah, and we don't have any authorization, so we just have one for Ben, and then we have a signature here from Nathan Mountain, who I assume is the property owner, authorizing Ben Salmonson. Just his name there.
Okay, understood.
Are either of those here?
Well, I can get the property owner here. I'm just curious as to how much time I have.
Not long. Minute, I mean, we typically, we wouldn't sit and wait. I mean, if we don't have an authorization, or they
No.
aren't here.
Okay, understood. So will it just be tabled for the next?
It will, and I believe this one was, we can hear it next month, but unfortunately, I think this was already tabled the previous month. And so we will have to have a new application and a new application fee and new certified letters sent out. Basically, we have 60 days and the process starts over.
Okay, understood. Hey, thank you for the transparency.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
To Nate, right there, your corner.
Thank you. Next up is amendment of chapter 130, presented by Sharon Trumberg. She's got to get her book out.
Okay, so this amendment came after a council decision of a rezone. So we had a rezone R2550 that was at the August 2025 Planning Commission meeting. This was J&M Capital Ventures. They had requested to go to light, currently they were light industrial and SF2, and they wanted to go to I2. Planning Commission, gosh, we are speeding through those slides. Planning Commission denied it, so they appealed to City Council. So City Council, they upheld the Planning Commission's denial of the I2 rezoning. However, they approved a downgrade to I1. And they also requested that we bring forth use unit 26, which is general industrial, to allow it as a conditional use in an I1. Therefore, carving out a path where this applicant could potentially downgrade rezone to I1, which I'll be taking to the next city council meeting next Tuesday, and then apply for a conditional use if it passes at a later date. So that is what, I think we have a copy of the ordinance in there, and it's set to be heard at next Tuesday's city council meeting. So let me know if you have any questions.
So are you basically saying that the city council is in favor for I1 with this conditional use permit, and no matter what we do, they're going to approve it?
As my memo says, staff is now following council's direction by bringing forward an ordinance to amend the zoning code to allow use unit 26 as a conditional use in an I1.
Thank you. This will be a motion to forward to city council to recommend to approve or deny this rezone.
Motion to send to deny.
City council for approval.
Motion to send to deny the,
Conditional use for general industrial uses and a light industrial.
for this particular project or just?
No,
in
it's
that-
just
oh,
in general. It's amending the full
No.
zoning code.
Can I offer that we motion to approve, just because it's easier to say no to something that's approved, then it's more transparent as to what we're actually saying.
So he motioned to deny this request, and you're asking if we can.
I take it back.
Brent takes it back. I mean, I think there's some thought that regardless of what we do, they're going to approve this. So it's up to the commission what we feel like we need to do.
I think they'll hear your feedback or listen to any recommendations. So if there are already feedback or comments that this body needs to take to it, this is a proposal to amend the zoning code, which.
So does this qualify for all I-1s from this point forward?
It will allow them to seek a conditional use. However, the requirement with the conditional use is that then it becomes a case-by-case basis. So if somebody does want to seek this, they have to come before us, before you all, and you all have to approve a site plan, making sure that they meet all of those.
Can you give us some background on what the applicant is trying to do? And if you remember, I don't know if you remember or not.
Katie?
So I got a request to issue a dirt work grading permit for a dirt sifting operation, which sometimes we have those temporarily in conjunction with construction, but this was to be a long-term operated topsoil sifting operation. So I said, I don't think that this is a appropriate project to issue a grading permit for. That's typically, done in 1 year. Actually, dirt work's usually closed in 6 months. So I said, maybe you look into rezoning to I-2, and that lets you do it by right. Since that was denied, I guess the council then suggested this option. But that is what they're asking to do on the property, is to sift topsoil.
So is that not a by right in I-1? It's only
It's
in
not.
I-2? And we denied the I-2?
Right now, it's, the land use plan does indicate heavy industrial. However, there were some residents, right now it is kind of sandwiched
Right.
between some existing older residential neighborhoods. And some of those people came out and kind of spoke about their concerns, but the vote was split with this body.
So really the question is, should there be a dirt sifting operation in this location regardless of zoning or whatever,
Well, in the vote, introducing this is not for any one specific business or site.
understand.
This is a general for the.
So they would have to come back with their large-scale development and their conditional use request after this passes, I guess.
Right, or doesn't? I need a motion.
Motion to forward to council to approve adding this as a conditional use.
In a second.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 6-3.
All right, well, staff will prepare and present an ordinance that goes to council next Tuesday on the 14th. Since this affects the zoning code, planning commissioners, you're invited to attend.
Thank you.
You're always invited to attend council, by the way.
Next up, Master Street Plan update by Ms. Katie.
All right, so if you guys were here 2 years ago, you saw the big update we made to the master street plan. We look at it every other year, see if we need to make other updates. There's really not anything huge changing this time. The street sections are all staying the same, and I'll have a little list of what we're changing. We're incorporating development and project alignment updates to the plan to show what's actually being built. We added roundabouts on 112, where RDOT is gonna build roundabouts. We added commercial and downtown commercial streets to our downtown district. This is probably the biggest change, was looking at where downtown a local street is appropriate versus a commercial street versus a downtown commercial street. Difference between commercial and downtown commercial is that downtown commercial bikes can ride in the road, regular commercial, they have bike lanes. We revised the alignments of collectors and arterials to more feasible locations. We identified local streets that would be more suited as industrial streets, and we removed the planning district. And I can answer any questions.
you for that. Do you know the Don Tyson extension, when that's going to happen? Do you have any idea?
So soon. We're working on getting, so Gene George North just started.
Right.
We're working on getting Gene George South and Don Tyson West to
Right.
construction. I want to say by the end of the year, but probably first of next year.
And do you know, you may not know this at all, but 112, I know they're doing that in segments, and my understanding is further north than where Don Tyson. Is that still the case that's starting
I
first?
believe that's
Yeah.
still the case.
So more than likely, we'll have a finished Don Tyson before they do their improvements. And look at all the interchanges on 612. Jeebers, it's a lot. Proposed interchanges. And it has the, I'm sorry I'm asking these questions, but it's, the interchange at the County Line Road, is that a done deal, or is that just something we'd like, or do you know where the status of that is, Katie?
So it fits with the highway department's
Departments.
rules as far
Yeah.
as separation. And, we really have this big goal to get county line all the way across town from
Right.
112 to 265. So we don't see any reason why it wouldn't be approved, but it's not been designed and approved yet.
Thank you. Any other questions? I'm just only curious when everybody wants to go home. Next up is Downtown Springdale Master Plan Addendum. Oh, yeah, we got to do this thing. Sorry. I just thought we'd get an update and move on with life. Motion to forward to City Council for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 9-0. Now, Sharon, Downtown Springdale.
All right, so the next one that we have, the Downtown Springdale Master Plan Addendum. So this is a long time coming. We were hoping that we would have the form-based code and the downtown addendum to present to you at the same time. We think the form-based code needs a little bit more work. We've been having some one-on-ones with people who have completed projects downtown because we want it to be the best working document. However, the addendum, it's ready to present and show everybody. There's been several times throughout this year, I think like March and July, where H3 Studios from St. Louis, who did our original form-based code and original downtown master plan in 2015. They did a southeast housing study for downtown and then a parking study for all of downtown. So there's kind of two elements to this study that they did. And so they are coming to the October 28th City Council to do a full presentation of some of these data results, the study results, and how it's going to support our downtown. So I also want to encourage you guys to come out to that. But some of the info is in here where we've identified how many additional parking spots that we can have, even with some low-hanging fruit where engineering and public works can do some striping and add some. We've identified the best spots for potential parking garages. And then the housing study, we gave some different options to this body and council throughout the year about the levels of density. And we think that southeast area has the most potential and capacity for density. So this is the addendum. We're not really, the direction of the downtown master plan itself is not really being updated other than specific goals that we have achieved. And updating that, it is really this addendum presenting those parking studies that are gonna help us private investment, public projects, make better decisions whenever it comes to parking and density projects in downtown.
Thank you. This will be a motion to forward to City Council for adoption.
Motion to forward to City Council for adoption.
Second.
Thank you. Passes 9-0. Next up is Springdale Planning Commission 2026 scheduled meeting dates. Our calendar presented by Sharon.
Woohoo, now we know the due dates for next year. I want to say a big thank you to Jackie, who did most of the legwork for doing this, and then all the other staff that we asked numerous times to vet it and look at all the dates. Yeah, if you had a chance, this is our standard schedule that we follow for submission and council and planning commission.
This will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 9-0. Before I turn over to the director report, can we get a calendar invite for the Springdale Master Plan Addendum meeting that's coming?
Absolutely, more
Because
than
if
happy
I can get a
to.
calendar invite, that means I can get on my calendar, that means I actually may show up. If it's just an email, say, hey, you might want to come to this, it will never get to my
Yeah.
calendar, it means I'll never know about it and I'll never show up. So if you guys have something you want us to attend, a calendar invite would be awesome. Moving on, director's report.
I brought all these notebooks and forgot to print out the report. Okay, so we have some exciting new updates. So we have an administrative assistant who's starting on the 13th. Her name is Ruth. She's from Ethiopia, and we're excited. We're excited to grow the team. We need some help. Business is booming. Development is going in Springdale. An update of the upcoming work sessions. So the next one, October 21st, or the third Tuesday this month, we're going to have a focus on landscaping. So landscape architect Sarah Gertz is going to come and present to us. And Sarah Curry on our team has been meeting with her just to kind of come up with some fun things and things that would be helpful for commissioners. So if you guys have any questions around landscaping and the variances that we bring forward, that's the meeting to ask. The November work section, happy Thanksgiving, no work session. An update on the Unified Development Code and the future land use plan. So last night at council committee, on Monday night, I brought forward 2 separate resolutions to split up, one for our future land use plan and the other one for a Unified Development Code. Asked council to support it. Both got forwarded and recommended to go to the October 14th, so next Tuesday, city council. And what I did was I gave them a brief introduction of how and why it was so important. I'm not going to give that full spiel because I know you all know more importantly, but one of the points that I hit home with them is that this future land use plan is the what and the where. So that's the vision of Springdale. And this UDC, we want it to have a little bit more time because those are the tools. That's how we do it. And so we need to make sure that we're building the right tools, but we need to identify the what and the where and the vision first. And we talked a lot about the population boom that is coming. If we're going to expect potentially 400,000 new people in the span of one generation coming to Northwest Arkansas, it's a matter of the growth is inevitable. It's whether it shapes us or we shape it. So hoping that we'll get support for that next Tuesday, and then we can start that process.
That's awesome.
The downtown, I just kind of recap for you, downtown master plan. And the form-based code, we're still working through those updates, but it's necessary and it's exciting. We have professionals, developers, the consultant staff. We want to make sure that it's a good working document for everybody that uses it. Master street plan update, well, you guys just forwarded it to city council for the 28th. And then for the city council items, I put them in the director's report. All were approved. The appeal, which was related to that amendment that we heard, was approved for the downgrade to the I-1. Which we heard next Tuesday, and then the city council items from September 23rd, which we had rezones and some waivers and 2 conditional uses. They were all approved. And I think all the resolutions were approved with option 1, but there were 2 that were modified. The duplexes that were next to each other on Huntsville Avenue. Council settled on a 5-foot sidewalk with a 2-foot green space to match the others. That's all I have.
By the way, that looks really good. It was complete. I drove by it today, so.
Yeah, and
If the commission would allow, staff did receive an authorization representation for this Representative Tyler Clark for B 2567, excuse me.
Yes. Please come up, Ben. Give us your spiel.
wow, the nick of time.
I appreciate you guys bearing with me.
Of course.
So we are appearing to get 2 separate city variances for 2 setback discrepancies on 1400 Dividend Drive. The building was initially built in 1980. I don't know when the setback requirements were enacted, but the reality is we do overstep them. We're currently under contract to sell the property, and per the buyer's SBA loan requirements, we do have to get a variance removing any and all
Encumbrances,
existing encumbrances or discrepancies.
So the intent is to sell this property to someone else, and they have to have these in place before they can purchase it through SBA funding.
Per their loan requirements, yes, sir.
Understood. Any questions? If none, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Aren't you glad it passed? Could you imagine if you did all that and we all said, we're not doing that, forget it?
Seriously, I appreciate
So,
you guys.
have a good night.
Yes, sir. You as well.
And with that, I think we'll adjourn. Appreciate you all.